Howdy, hi. It is Do Your Job Sports WNBA Picks and Predictions for Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. We are looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, so we are back after All-Star break. It has been a hot minute, but we are still going to recap the crazy day that was July 16th. On the day, we went 7-6, bringing our season record to 171 and 162. I will make this a quicker recap than normal, given as though this happened basically a week ago. Let's get into it. First game, we had the Dream -8 at the Chicago Sky. This was probably the worst WNBA game from a one-team perspective that I have ever watched. Chicago Sky had no Angel Reese, no Ariel Atkins. They lose the game by 37 points. They shot 25% from the field, 35% from deep. They went 11 of 51 from two-point land. They finished the game with 15 turnovers to only 18 made shots. Every single player was awful. Kia Nurse off the bench, 1 of 9 in 22 minutes played. Why is she in the WNBA? I don't know. Shout out to the Dream for taking care of business. Next game winner, we had the under 159.5 in the Phoenix Mercury and Minnesota Lynx. This one soared under. Final score, Mercury 66, Lynx 79. The main reason, neither team could really make a shot. Phoenix Mercury 36% from the field. Minnesota only shot 43. The Mercury actually won the offensive rebound battle 9-7. They won the turnover battle 12-15. They just couldn't hit water from a boat. Alyssa Thomas, 5 of 16 with 5 turnovers. Then you had Catherine Westbell to go 1 of 9 from the field. Not a good day for the Mercury. Next game, the only game in which we swept both bets, with the Storm -4.5, with the under 157.5. This was another egregious shooting percentage game for the WNBA. Storm win 67-58. A total of 125 points were scored. Valkyries shoot 32% from the field. The Storm, one better, 33%. These teams shoot 23 and 24% from deep. They combined to have 22 turnovers. Ugly, ugly game of basketball. But once again, the fourth quarter pains the Valkyries. They lose the fourth quarter by 5. They lost the third quarter by 4. This game was tied at halftime. In the Storm, get the cover, and we hit the under. Next game, it was the Indiana Fever at the New York Liberty. We had the over, 164.5. This one hits. Final score here, Indiana 77, Liberty 98. Indiana, another team, they win the offensive rebound battle. They tie the turnover battle. They won the all-rebounding battle 13-2. It wasn't even by a short margin. They had way more shot attempts. They had 12 more shot attempts and 4 more free throws than the New York Liberty, yet they still lose the game by 21. Indiana Fever shot 37% from the field, 25% from deep. Main culprits, Aaliyah Boston, 1 of 8. I don't know how you go 1 of 8 as a center. You had Sydney Colson off the bench go 0 of 5. You had Damiris Dantas off the bench go 4 of 12. Natasha Howard, 3 of 8. Ari McDonald, 4 of 9. Too many turnovers, too many missed shots. No bueno from the Fever, but we hit the over. We then hit the over in the Aces game of 170.5. Final score there, 90-86. So that's it for 176. Then we had Asia PRA over 33.5. She finishes with 49. Okay, now the losers. We had the over in the Sky game. This never stood a chance. Like I said, the Sky, 49 points. That is the second lowest in WNBA in the last 10 years. A decade. That's no good. Mercury plus 11. They lose by 13. This probably should have hit. They lost the third quarter by 11. They lost the first quarter by 11. They won the second quarter. They won the fourth quarter. If Alyssa Thomas could have actually put the ball in the hoop, they'd probably cover this number. Fever plus 9.5 never really stood a chance. Despite winning the rebounding and turnover battle, they lose the game by 21 because they can't shoot a basketball. Aces, this was a bad beat. Aces minus 5.5. Their largest lead of the game was 22. They lost the fourth quarter by 16 points. Then even on top of that, to add insult to injury, Dallas Wings cover the number on a put-back tip-in from a bench player who has been cut by 3 different teams this year in Haley Jones. So that one hurt. Then we lose 2 player props. Rachel Banham, this was disgusting. I don't know what this guy were doing. They gave everyone else more shot attempts than Rachel Banham. Rachel Banham finishes 2 of 7 from the field with 6 points. Meanwhile, Kia Nurse off the bench had more shot attempts. Maddie Westfield off the bench had more shot attempts. They combined to go 2 of 17. Why are we giving them shot attempts and not Rachel Banham? Then finally, to wrap it up, we had Alyssa Thomas, PRA, over 31.5. She missed, but I don't think it was it close? Let's see, 17. She had 26. She did go 5 of 16 from the field, and she probably would have had a few more assists if her teammates also could have just shot the ball. You had Sammy Whitcomb, 2 of 8. I already mentioned Westbeld, 1 of 9. Loxa off the bench went 2 of 7. So nobody could score. So that was the story in the Mercury game. All right, that's the recap. Let's get on to the picks for tomorrow. Game number 1, it is the LA Sparks at the Washington Mystics. We just saw this game. I'm going to take the Sparks, plus 3.5. Also taking the over, 167.5. These two teams just played. Granted, it was in LA just before the All-Star break. You saw the Sparks absolutely destroy the Mystics, winning that game 99-80. They almost dropped a 100-burger on them. Looking at these rosters, the Sparks win at 4 out of 5 positions. The only position I think they lose in is point guard. I would take Brittany Sykes over Kelsey Plum if I was building a WNBA team currently, but I could see your argument if you do think Kelsey Plum is better. So some people would probably say 5 out of 5, they got him in every single one. I'd push back on that a little bit though. Sparks 8-14 on the year. They've won 2 games in a row, which is something to be said for a team that has been struggling to win basketball games. Surprisingly, they're much better on the road than they are at home this season. 5-6 on the road straight up in the win-loss column. They win basically every single statistical battle you could think of besides rebounding, which is weird considering they have De'Arica Hamby, Azrae Stevens, and Rakia Jackson at their 3-4-5. Doesn't really make much sense with how much size they have. They just can't rebound the ball. They're the better shooting team. They make more threes per game. They average more assists per game. And they play at a faster pace. I think that pace thing is a big thing here. If the Sparks are hitting their shots, the Mystics just simply won't be able to keep up. Too young, too inexperienced. They don't play solid enough defense consistently to keep themselves in the game, making it low scoring. Sparks should be able to just jump on them early. Mystics 11-11 on the year. They are really good at home though, 7-3 on the season. Their defense, normally very solid. They just have problems dealing with the size that the Sparks have. De'Arica Hamby, 6'5", Azrae Stevens, 6'5", and then you have a 6'2" small forward, Rakia Jackson, probably one of the most athletic people on the court. They're not going to have anyone to stop her. They're going to be throwing rotation. Brittany Sykes, Sonia Citron, Sug Sutton. That's not going to work. I think the best defender for Rakia would probably be Aaliyah Edwards off the bench, and they're not going to have that matchup for anything more than 15 minutes throughout the game. That's not going to work, especially when you put Steph Dolson in there. She can't move, so Rakia should absolutely feast, get into the mid-range, getting down low. Give me Rakia to the moon. Next game, Fever, Liberty. This line is on the way up. I think it opened at Liberty minus 9.5. I see it now at minus 11, so that is what I will take it at and give out in the video. Also taking the over, 162.5. This is a horrible spot for Indiana. Caitlin Clark missing this game. The Liberty get the return of Finals MVP Jonquel Jones. This should be a belt-to-ass kind of game for New York. Also a bad spot for the Fever. They just hosted the All-Star weekend. The players are probably still going to be hungover mentally, physically, and that's their entire roster because they were all doing things throughout the week. For example, Sydney Colson hosted a comedy show one night. That's got to take something out of you. So I think this is a horrible spot. Fever 12-11 on the year. They just lost to this Liberty team by 21 points. That was without Jonquel Jones on the court. Probably not going to go any better with her on the court. They could not stop Stewie, Sabrina, or Natasha Cloud. Without Clark, they struggled to get Aaliyah Boston open shots. You could see that in the previous game. She went 1 of 8 from the field. They just forced her to take a bunch more mid-range, and that's not what Aaliyah Boston likes. If Kelsey Mitchell's shots aren't falling, if you don't get any production from Cunningham off the bench, you're not going to be able to score points, and the Fever don't know how to play defense anyway. Liberty 15-6 on the year. They've won 3 games in a row, 10-2 at home, and now they have the leader of the ship down low, Jonquel Jones. This is where they go on a run. They win like 10-15 in a row. They storm past the Lynx in the overall standings. They get home court back, and they start feeling tough again. Give me the Liberty -11. Give me the over 162.5. Next game we got, it is a matchup we've seen a ton recently. Chicago Sky, Minnesota Lynx. I'm going to take the Lynx at home, -13.5. And I'm going to take the under 159.5. I normally don't like taking unders when I'm laying double-digit numbers. But here, I think we're okay. After seeing the Sky's most recent performance, where they scored 49 points in a 40-minute professional basketball game, I refuse to back them until they actually put the ball in the hoop with Ariel Atkins and Angel Reese on the court. Lynx, they're still undefeated at home. They're coming off of the All-Star break. Nafisa Collier's team won. They should be ready to lay belt to ass. Sky just lost 86-49 at home to the Dream. I've already said this, but second lowest team total in the last decade in the WNBA. Angel Reese is back for this game. As I make this video, Ariel Atkins currently listed as questionable. Previous game, they shot 25% from the field. They're horrible without Angel and Ariel. I don't know how they're going to look with just Angel. This Lynx defense is the best in the WNBA. I don't see how they put the ball in the hoop. Lynx 20-4 on the year. They should have absolutely zero problem taking care of business against a horrible Chicago Sky team. Like I said, I don't normally like taking unders, but the under hit in the previous game for the Sky, and they gave up 86 points. I don't think the Sky are going to score 49, but this game's looking like an 85-64 type of number on it. Normally, the Lynx do kind of take their foot off the gas in the fourth quarter. They bring their bench in. It's run by Natisha Heidemann. She kind of does whatever she wants. I'll take the Lynx -13.5. I'll also take the under. If I had to only bet one of them, I would probably take the Lynx spread instead of the under. That is what I'd say is the more safer bet. Next game we're looking at, it is the Dallas Wings taking on the Seattle Storm. I'm going to take the Storm at home, -9. Also going to rock the over, 163.5. They've already played twice this year. The Storm have won by 8 points and by 6 points. I think this is where they take the lid off the cookie jar and they go to town. The Storm laying big numbers this year haven't really panned out, but I think this is a great spot at home to get it done. Wings 6-17 on the year. They have lost 4 games in a row. I'm not one to call out bullshit, but they have lost every single game since Enrique has been back in the lineup. You can do with that information what you will. They are still without Dejanay Carrington and Maddie Siegrist, which is actually a big problem for this team. Dejanay is great defensively. Maddie Siegrist offers them a 3-point specialist off the bench. Wings, they rank last in basically every single defensive metric you could look at, while also shooting the second worst field goal percentage in the league at 41%. I would love to know how much of that is from Enrique. Storm 14-9 on the year, 8-4 at home straight up. Decent chunk of their roster did go to the All-Star game, so I'm semi-concerned from that portion of it. Then you had Diggins, you had Neka Gumake, and then you had Gabby Williams, and Erica Wheeler. They had 4 starters in the All-Star game. The only one that wasn't there was Ezzy. So that's semi-concerning, but I think they get it done. This Wings team is just so bad at basketball, I cannot possibly take them on the road. Give me the Storm, give me the under. Give me the Storm, give me the over. I'm not taking the under in any Dallas Wings game ever. Storm and over. Final game here, we have a lot of line movement in this one. Atlanta Dream, Las Vegas Aces. Currently, the Dream, they keep on going down. They opened as 2.5-point favorites. As I look on FanDuel right now, they are minus 112 on the money line. So if you wait a while, it would appear though that the public is all over the Dream. So you honestly might be able to get the Aces close to a pick'em if you waited till at some point right before tip-off. Also going to go with the over 161.5. In my opinion, this is probably the game of the night. The Dream are still without Ryan Howard. She's going to be held out until the beginning of August. That is not good news for the Dream. We're going to see what happens. Now, side note, the Aces are on the ban list, but we're going to make an exception here because the Dream have an injury to arguably their second best player. I would say it goes Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, then probably Bree Jones, then Jordan Canada, then Brittany Griner. Dream 13-9 on the year. They did just lose to the Fever by 17 and the Liberty by 7. Now, technically, they're directly coming off of a road win at the Sky by 37 points, but we're going to throw that game in the dumpster just based on how atrocious the Sky's roster was. I still don't think they're very good without Ryan Howard. They really lack a mid-range. Jordan Canada can get to the hoop. She's not pulling up anywhere, though. Alicia Gray, three-point specialist. Bree Jones is about the best mid-range option you have. Then you have Griner down low, who offers you almost nothing offensively. I just don't like this team without Ryan Howard. Aces, they're 11-11 on the year. They've won 2 games in a row against the Valkyries and the Wings. They're not very impressive wins, but they are wins by 2 and 4 points. Somehow, this is their first time playing the Dream the entire season. Not sure how that works out, but okay. They match up well. Asia should be able to feast down low against Griner's slow ass. Give me the Aces on the money line. Give me the over 161.5. Finally, we will go through the player props real quick because this is already way too long of a video. Asia Wilson, points and rebounds over 32.5. I would have taken her PRA, but FanDuel didn't have PRA available. It was just points and rebounds. So that's what I got. I'm going to take it over 32.5. Brittany Griner, no good at defense. Asia Wilson, best player on earth. We take her PR over. Next one, we're going to run back Rickea Jackson. We took her the last time she played the Mystics. I think she was over 16.5 PR. This time I'm just going to go with the points. It is over 13.5. Her last four games, she has dropped 22, 19, 14, and 15. So she hit it every single time. Mystics don't have anyone to guard her in the mid-range. Rickea Jackson should feast. Finally, Alicia Gray, I'm going to take her over 27.5 PRA. No Ryan Howard in the lineup means it's basically going to be Alicia and Jordan Canada running that offense. The Aces don't play defense. Alicia's going to have the green light from everywhere on the court. Give me her PRA over. All right, that's going to do it for me in this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.